She loved how he was emotionless until her mom was in the hospital due to heart surgery, and she wanted him to comfort her, but he physically couldn't cause he was so empty inside. It was 3 a.m. when the class president, Megan, suddenly dropped a message in the group chat, graduation photos. The day after tomorrow, in the morning, a second message followed with a payment link, $50 per person. I replied, telling her I had my thesis defense that day and asked if we could possibly reschedule. Her response was blunt, is your time the only time that matters? If you can't make it, get lost. Wanting to fit in, just this once, I paid the fee, and went through hell to reschedule my defense, but when the day of the photo shoot arrived, a classmate told me, oh, the graduation photos. We already took them yesterday. I had spent an hour on my makeup, wanting to look my best, but when I arrived at the campus quad, breathless under the brutal sun, there was no one there. I pulled out my phone, and checked the notification again. The day after tomorrow at 10 a.m., meet on the quad for graduation photos. I scrolled down. There were no other messages about a change in plans. I was in the right place at the right time, so where was everyone? Refusing to believe it, I thought maybe they'd moved to the gym to escape the heat. Not wanting to be late, I hurried over, but the gym was empty except for a few underclassmen playing basketball. The sun was a weight on my shoulders, sweat trickled down my back, soaking the crisp white shirt I'd picked out specially for the photos. My carefully applied makeup was now a sticky, streaky mess on my face. My patience snapped. I called my roommate, Lily. Hello, Sarah. Lily's voice was hesitant, laced with guilt. Lily, where are you guys? Did the time for the photos change? Why is the quad empty? I tried to keep my voice from trembling. Silence on the other end for a few seconds. Sarah, actually we took them yesterday. Yesterday. My voice shot up, drawing stares from a few students nearby, but Megan's message clearly said today. Megan sent another notification in the private chat to change the time. She must have forgotten to add you to that one. Lily's voice grew smaller and smaller. My hand holding the phone began to shake. It was happening again. Ever since my sophomore year, when I'd refused to pay Megan's unreasonable fee for a class event, I had been the target of her little clique. But this was too much. Graduation photos were a once-in-a-lifetime thing. What about my $50? I asked, biting my lip. You'll have to ask Megan about that. Lily quickly muttered something about being busy, and hung up. I stood there, frozen, feeling all the blood rush to my head. $50 wasn't a small amount for me. It was 3 days' pay from my part-time job, but what hurt more was the knowledge that I would never be in our graduation yearbook. The entire class would remember me as Sarah, the weirdo who didn't even show up for her own graduation photo. Taking a deep breath, I opened my chat with Megan. The last message was still her sharp, if you can't make it, get lost. My fingers trembled with rage as I typed, Megan, why wasn't I notified that the time for the photos had changed? I paid the fee. Why was I left out? The typing bubble appeared, then stopped, appeared, then stopped again. 5 full minutes passed before she replied. Maybe you should check the group chat. It's not my fault you're antisocial. I stared at the message, my eyes burning. I decided to take this to my student advisor. His office door was slightly ajar. As I raised my hand to knock, I heard Megan's sweet, syrupy voice from inside. Mr. Davis, over the past 4 years, I've organized more than 20 class activities, and even won the Outstanding Student Leader Award. I pushed the door open. Megan was sitting across from my advisor. A pile of documents spread across his desk. They both looked up. The smile on Megan's face froze. Sarah. Mr. Davis looked surprised. Is something wrong? I clenched my fists, my nails digging into my palms. Mr. Davis, I'm here to report an issue of targeted bullying by the class president. Megan. I struggled to keep my voice steady. She collected the fee for graduation photos, but deliberately failed to inform me of the correct time, resulting in my absence from the class picture. Megan shot to her feet. That's a lie. It was your own fault for not reading the group chat messages. Which group chat? I looked her straight in the eye, the private one that I'm not a part of. Megan's expression faltered. She turned to the advisor. Mr. Davis, our class has 3 group chats. Sarah left 2 of them on her own. I never left any group chat. I cut her off. You kicked me out. During the sophomore year class dinner, you demanded everyone pay $80. When I questioned the cost, you kicked me out of the group. Megan sneered, but her face crumpled into a mask of grievance. When she turned back to the advisor, you see, Mr. Davis. This is what she does. She always finds fault with everything I do for the class. That dinner was at a high-end restaurant. $80 wasn't even enough. I had to supplement it with class funds. You're lying. My voice trembled with anger. The actual cost per person was less than $50, and you never showed us the bill. Mr. Davis frowned. All right, that's enough. Graduation is just around the corner. Let's not argue over such trivial matters. You're both at fault. Megan, you should have made sure every student was notified about the photos. I did notify everyone. Megan suddenly pulled out her phone. See? I sent a notification in the main year group chat and tagged everyone. Is it my fault if she muted the chat? I leaned in to look. She had, in fact, posted a brief, one-line message in the massive year group chat, but that chat was constantly spammed with ads and irrelevant announcements. I'd muted it ages ago, and, Megan added triumphantly, I even had her roommate go to her dorm room to get her before the photos yesterday. She wasn't there. My head snapped toward her. Who came to get me? I was in my room all day yesterday preparing for my thesis defense. Lily said she knocked for ages and no one answered. Megan shrugged. Maybe you had your headphones on. I was shaking with fury. Lily had never come to my door. Megan seized the opportunity. Mr. Davis, as you know, Sarah never participates in class activities. We always have to chase her down for everything. For the graduation photos, she was the only one in the entire class who asked to change the time. Sorry, due to copyright issues I am unable to continue updating the next chapter. If you like the book, if you like this book, circ 289706 on Moda Novel to read this book.